What?
Drugs, sex, war, politics.
What was that?
Drugs, sex, war, politics.
Let's just skip the last two, and I'll go with politics.
Okay.
Do you have an interesting question or something to discuss?
Personally, do you know what question I have for you? It's a very straightforward question. I am curious to see how you will respond to it. I'm very interested in why Russia attacked Ukraine.
There are a bunch of reasons.
Well, let's.
The most common reason, as normal insane Russians claim, is the preservation of Putin's power, but I do not believe in that particular reason.
Tell me your opinion.
The second reason, which I believe to be true, is that the vast majority of Russians are in fact hidden imperialists, and a vast majority of them are openly imperialistic, and Putin is merely a reflection of what most Russians want. When Russians became prosperous from the oil and natural gas they were selling at inflated prices, back in the 90s they were sustained by what was called Bush's chicken legs. Then, having feasted on high oil and gas prices, their imperialistic ambitions awakened. Putin simply gave voice to this imperialistic nature. Any empire thrives only as long as it continues to expand, and they are striving to maintain their existence through expansion.
Okay, if you have questions, ask. If not, I will.
Certainly, I have a question for you. In your opinion, why did the Russia attack Ukraine?
I agree with the president who was choosing. He spent 15 minutes explaining why he sent in.
But they attacked in 2014, not in 2022.
Well,
With the attack on Crimea, yes, when Russian troops blocked Ukrainian military units on land and sea. Why did they do that?
I don't even want to discuss that.
What do you mean you don't? You yourself proposed this topic.
I asked a question, you didn't answer, and I.
So what's the answer? There's a question, what are you so afraid to answer?
I'm not afraid to answer at all.
Well, answer it, please. I'm really asking you to.
In your opinion, again, from your point of view,
Exclusively from yours, of course.
in my opinion, it's a false perception of the world. And it's like we will never reach an agreement on this.
So what exactly is it that's false in our perception of the world that gives you the grounds to attack us? Perhaps Zimbabweans also hold a false perception of the world, yet you're not attacking Zimbabwe, are you?
No, we don't attack.
Well, they do not hold the same perception of the world as you do.
Troops into Ukraine, and our president, within 15 minutes, ignited the situation by explaining.
That's in 2022. I already told you. You initiated the attack in 2014.
Before that, you had a civil war.
Even if we did have a civil war, what concern is it of yours to care about a civil war in a foreign country's territory? So tell me, do you concern yourselves with a civil war taking place within Zimbabwe's borders? You don't, right?
Countries globally are concerned with civil wars. This is precisely what politics entails.
Well, then, what concern is it of yours the civil war in Ukraine that you initiated?
America had a civil war too.
Ah, so it's America's fault, I see.
And where is Ukraine? And where is Ukraine?
Okay, look, let's say we have a civil war. I'll even agree with you. What business is it of yours what happens in a civil war in Ukraine?
You are our neighbors.
What?
You are our neighbors.
Well, back in 1993, when you experienced an unconstitutional coup, there's a ruling from the Constitutional Court, personally signed by Zorkin, the head of the Constitutional Court, which clearly states that Yeltsin indeed violated several articles of the Constitution. That truly was an unconstitutional coup. So why didn't anyone attack you then? What are your thoughts on that?
Our country had just collapsed.
Your country didn't collapse in 93. Instead, you experienced a state coup when Yeltsin used tanks to fire upon Rutskoy and Kazbulatov, specifically targeting the Supreme Soviet building. So why was it that no one attacked you?
You know perfectly well that some Ukrainian citizens were fighting.
What difference does it make to me where some of your citizens fought, even in a distant place like Zimbabwe? Why did no one attack you back in 1993 and declare, "You're embroiled in a civil war right on our border. This situation demands immediate attention. We need to go in there and restore order because your way of thinking isn't quite right." What do you suppose was the reason no one attacked you in 93?
We were attacked.
Nobody attacked you back in 1993 after that state coup, when the illegitimate President Yeltsin expanded his authority. What are you even telling me? Who truly attacked you in 1993?
What do you think? When?
I've already asked you a question. Don't run away from the question. You avoided the first question, and now you're avoiding the second one too. If you're going to evade questions, then just leave the conversation altogether. Why are you dodging the questions? Why? I clearly ask you in 1993, when you were experiencing a civil war, a conflict between your president and the Supreme Soviet and the vice president, was there no one who attacked you?
They did.
Who?
The people who supplied the weapons.
Which people launched an attack on you? Which country attacked you in 1993, crossing your borders, huh, man?
The ones who sold the stingers.
Man, which country attacked Russia by crossing its borders in 93 when you were experiencing a state coup? Seriously, who attacked Russia by crossing its borders in 93 during your state coup?
Ukraine and America.
Oh, Ukraine attacked, you say? Show me the footage of Ukraine's attack on Russia in 93. Can you do that? Because I can show you footage right now. Why are you showing me a pack of cigarettes? Just get out of here. He's showing me a cigarette pack that says impotence on it. So what am I supposed to gather from that? Is he referring to his own state or condition?
Why are you swearing? Don't swear. Why are you swearing? I'm not swearing. I'm just saying there are adults here. What about it? It's just that kind of behavior.
Hello?
How's the holiday?
It's going. What would you like to talk about?
It's going. I just dropped in.
Well, you just came in. What's next? Let's have a conversation. Suggest a topic.
So what are you sitting there for? All right, I'll propose a subject. What do you think?
That's a question, not a topic. What you're saying is a question. What do you think is how you phrase a question. The topic is politics, I take it.
You're the one talking. Is there really a question? Oh my God, you're celebrating Independence Day, aren't you? Independence.
In Russian, it's nezavisimosti. In Ukrainian, it's nezalezhnosti. What's the issue?
Do you genuinely believe it is truly independent?
There are no truly independent countries. You should read up on what international law is. Any country that signs an international document or treaty is no longer 100% completely independent. That's a normal thing in international law. But who am I telling this to? Especially a woman will just laugh at this right now.
No.
Yes.
All right, I wish you well.
We want victory. Your good is unneeded.
Right, victory.
We must achieve victory over you, otherwise it would be utterly meaningless.
Who has to defeat whom?
You're about to start laughing now, come on.
You're already down 4 regions.
-4 regions, yes. Do you consider that to be correct?
Well, that's a win.
Taking foreign territory, do you believe that is the right thing to do?
You agree with it yourself? No. Why foreign?
Back in 1997, you yourself actually signed a treaty on friendship and borders. In 2004, it was formally ratified and signed into law by President Putin himself. Therefore, these are clearly foreign territories.
A coup took place, a state coup happened.
Firstly, you need to prove that it was indeed a state coup. And secondly, even if we did have a state coup, why does it concern you? When you experienced a state coup in 1993, spearheaded by Yeltsin, and there's a constitutional court decision endorsed by Zorkin affirming that some actions taken by the president could indeed be labeled a state coup, that's your own internal matter, your own state coup to address. Or didn't you know?
We're not talking about yours.
We are discussing state coups as a general concept. When you experienced your own state coup, not a single dog attacked you. And what if there was a change of power that you didn't like, and you suddenly decided you could completely disregard the treaty and attack a country just because you felt like it? Isn't that right?
Look, your president was removed from power.
The president was not removed from power. But even if he was removed from power, what business is that of yours? You simply cannot comprehend that Russia and Ukraine are distinct countries. Back when your President Yeltsin was firing at the White House with tanks, no one suggested we should launch an attack on Russia just because they were experiencing a state coup.
But nobody attacked you.
Of course, on the night of February 26th to 27th, Russian special forces absolutely did not storm that very building of the Supreme Council of the Autonomous Republic of Crimea. And Russian troops without any identifying insignia certainly did not blockade Ukrainian units in Crimea, both on land and at sea. Who exactly are you telling these fairy tales to? Your wife might even believe them.
They killed there.
They killed 2 individuals. And even if no one was killed, what was the reason why Russian military units blockaded Ukrainian military units in Crimea, both on land and at sea? What was the underlying cause? Was it a state coup?
Well, of course you.
Let me explain this to you once more. Even if there truly was a state coup in Ukraine, that is absolutely none of your concern. It's a state coup that happened in a neighboring country. When you experienced a state coup back in 1993, Ukraine certainly did not attack you. You can spin those fairy tales about no one attacking Ukraine to Putin himself. Let me explain that what happens in a neighboring country is absolutely none of your concern. That's all there is to it.
Excuse me. Listen, when things started on your Maidan,
And what concern is it of yours, really, what exactly was happening in Ukraine on the Maidan? When Yeltsin shot at the White House with tanks, where the head of the Supreme Soviet, Kazbulatov, and Vice President Rutskoy were located, nobody encroached on Russian territory, so it is not your concern. They're really getting on my nerves. I keep telling them the same thing over and over. But what about you? What about you? What happens with us is our business. What's it to you anyway?